Okay, so the next part here is part 6. And the question is, find the modulus and amplitude of -1 minus I. This can be written as -1 plus -1 I. And in ordered pair form, this is now -1 minus 1. Therefore, mod Z is equal to square root of -1 square plus -1 square, which is equal to √2. So the modulus of this is √2. Now let us proceed to find out the amplitude or argument. Okay, so you have, if you try to find out the position of -1, it should be somewhere over here, roughly. Okay, so now what you do is, from the origin, you join this point, right? So therefore, which one should be your argument? Because the argument lies between -pi and pi, your argument should be this angle here, right? This is your argument of Z. Therefore, in order to find out argument of Z, what we do is we find out the remaining angle. So we drop a perpendicular from here. Okay, so this is 1 unit and this is 1 unit. We complete the right angle triangle, and therefore this angle becomes your phi. Therefore tan phi, if you see according to the diagram, is 1 by 1, which is equal to 1. Tan phi is equal to tan pi by 4. That means phi is pi by 4. Therefore, what is the argument of Z? Argument of Z, because we are starting with minus pi here, because we are taking it in the clockwise direction. Therefore, with minus pi, you have to add plus pi, because this minus pi, this argument here is in the clockwise direction. So that is why this is minus pi. And because this angle phi would be in the is the remaining angle, therefore this should be a minus pi plus pi. So therefore you get the argument as minus 3 pi by 4. Any question? Okay, can I proceed then? Let me just write one more step for you, so that if you are writing, you are clear. This should be minus pi plus phi, which is minus pi plus pi by 4. See that we are taking angle in the anti-clockwise direction here, in the clockwise direction, in fact. Okay, proceeding to the next one then. This is part 7. I say let Z is equal to 1 plus I root 3. This is the given complex number whose modulus and amplitude you need to find. In ordered pair form, this can be written as 1 root 3. Okay, therefore, modulus of Z is nothing but square root of root over of 1 square plus root 3 square, which is equal to 1 plus 3, which is root 4, which is 2. Okay, so this is your modulus. We'll now proceed to find out the argument. In an exactly similar manner, you try to locate the point in the Argand plane. Okay, so if we try to locate the point, should be somewhere over here, roughly. So z is equal to 1 root 3. So now in order to find out the argument, you join from the origin, you join the point and the origin, and you complete this triangle, drop a perpendicular here, and you complete this triangle. Okay, so in this case, your argument will now be starting with the real axis in this direction, because we are talking about the first and second quadrant. Therefore, if this angle is phi, therefore my argument will be equal to this angle phi. So let's first find out this angle here. This is 1 unit, and this is root 3 units. Okay, so therefore tan phi is equal to root 3 by 1, which is equal to root 3. Means tan phi, the value of tan is tan pi by 3. That means this angle here is pi by 3. And because this angle phi will be equal to the argument, because we are taking in the first and second quadrant, therefore we say argument of z is equal to phi is equal to pi by 3. Okay, any question here? We'll move on to the next one then.
Yes, sir.
2 part 1. I recommend you do the argument from my notes from this video. All these methods are not given in the textbook. First one. Second question is, write the following complex numbers in polar form. Now, as I told you, just a reminder of polar form. What is the polar form of a complex number? If r is equal to z is equal to x plus iy, then the polar form is uh, z is equal to polar form z is equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta, where r is nothing but the modulus of z and theta is nothing but the argument of z. This is what we call the polar form. Now let's see for the first one. Number one, let z is equal to -2, which can be written as -2 plus 0 I, which you can now write as -2 0. Okay, so therefore what should be mod z? Because we for polar form we need the modulus and amplitude of the complex number. We'll find the modulus and amplitude of the complex number. Mod z is equal to square root of -2 square plus 0 square, which is simply equal to 2. Therefore mod z is equal to 2. We now proceed to find out the modulus amplitude. Now amplitude, we proceed exactly in the similar manner. We draw the axis. Okay, and we locate this complex number -2 0. If you try to locate this complex number, we say somewhere over here. So z is equal to -2 0. And what is this angle made here? This angle that is made here is pi, right? Argument of z is equal to pi. Therefore, what is the polar form of the complex number of the given complex number? Is equal to z is equal to, first, if you see, polar form was r. So you put the value of r. What is the value of r here? 2. We write 2. And then you have cos theta. Cos theta is the argument. So argument we have found as pi. So cos pi plus I sin pi. And that is the required polar form. Okay. So I can proceed to the next one then.
Yes, sir.
To part 2. start by saying let z is equal to 3 plus 4i into 4 plus 5i divided by 4 plus 3i into 6 plus 7i. Okay. We need to find out the polar form of this complex number. Again, we need to find out the modulus and the amplitude. So in order to find out the modulus, what you do is you multiply the numerator and denominator to get 12 plus 331i plus 20i square, your usual multiplication. And the denominator, you'll get 24 plus 46i plus 21i square. So that now if you put I square is equal to -1, you'll get 12 minus 20 plus 31i. And here, if you put this one is I square. So now if you put I square is equal to -1 in the denominator, you're going to get 24 minus 21 plus 46i, which can now be simplified as -8 plus 31i divided by 3 plus 46i. Therefore, mod z is equal to mod of all this, -8 plus 31i divided by 3 plus 46i. Okay, from the properties of mod, modulus of the entire complex number is equal to modulus of the numerator divided by modulus of the denominator, which is root over of -8 square plus 31 square divided by root over of 3 square plus 46 square, which is equal to, now if you find out, if you evaluate the squares and this is add it, you get square root of 1025, and the denominator you will get square root of 2125. If you find out the square root, this will come to 5 root 41 divided by 5 root 85, from which these two are going to cancel, so that you will get the modulus as square root 41 by 85. Okay, this is what your modulus of z is. Now we proceed to find out the amplitude. So before finding out the amplitude, we write the complex number as a plus ib or x plus iy. So -8 plus 31i divided by 3 plus 46i. Why? Because I have picked up the value of z from this part here. Okay. So therefore, now if you multiply the numerator and denominator by 3 minus 46i, now you multiply everything in the numerator, -24 plus 368i plus 93i minus 1426i square divided by, in the denominator is of the form a square minus b square, so you get 3 square minus 46i whole square. So now you, in the numerator, if you put I square is equal to -1, you'll get this, and the denominator you're going to get 9 minus 2116 I square, so that now you get 1402 plus 461 I divided by, in the denominator you put I square is equal to -1 and simplify, you're going to get 2125. So that now if you separate, you're going to get 1402 divided by 2125 as your real part, and 461 divided by 2125i as your imaginary part. Okay. So now we want to find out the argument of this. If you remember the argument, because both x and y here, the real part and the imaginary part are positive, the argument will definitely lie in the first and the second quadrant, right? So you don't actually need to draw the Argand plane. So argument of z can be written as tan inverse of, the formula was tan inverse y by x for argument, right? Y in this here is 461 divided by 2125. And x here is 1402 divided by 2125. Now if you cancel, you'll get tan inverse 461 by 1402. Now from your calculators, you can calculate this tan inverse and find it out to be 18.2 degrees. Or you can also write it as 18 degrees 12 minutes. Okay. So we have found the modulus and the argument. Therefore, polar form of the given complex number is z is equal to r. If you see the argument, we had found out as root over of 41 by 85. This is the value of r. Now cos theta plus I sin theta. So cos 18 degree 12 minutes plus I sin 18 degree 12 minutes. And that is the required polar representation. Fine. Any question?
No, sir.
We proceed to the next one. To part 3. Here also you need to find out the polar representation of the complex number. So let z is equal to 2 plus 3i divided by 3 plus 2i. Okay, again, first of all, it will be easier for this complex number if you simplify if you write this in the form e plus ib first. So what you do here is you, and then we can find out the modulus and argument both. So 2 plus 3i into 3 minus 2i divided by 3 plus 2i into 3 minus 2i. Okay. So now, if you multiply in the numerator, you're going to get 6 minus 4i plus 9i minus 6i square, and denominator of the form a square minus b square. So you get 3 square minus 2i whole square. So here, if you put I square is equal to minus 1, you get 6 plus 5i, and the denominator you're going to get 9 minus 4i square. So that now if you simplify the numerator and denominator, in the numerator you're going to get 12 plus 5i, and denominator will be 9 plus 4, which is equal to 13. Okay, so this is 12 plus 5i divided by 13. Now you can separate here 12 by 13. This is the real part, and the imaginary part is 5 by 13i. Okay. So therefore, what should be the modulus of z? Mod z is equal to square root of that's real part square plus the imaginary part square. Okay. So this is equal to square root of 144 plus 25 divided by 169, which is equal to square root 169 by 169, which is equal to 1. So modulus of this is 1. And what should be the argument? If you see the real and imaginary part here, both are positive. So directly from, without even drawing the Argand diagram, you know that whatever the if you try to locate the complex number in the Argand diagram, it will be in the first and second quadrant only. So therefore, clearly you can write argument of z is equal to tan inverse y by x. Y is 5 by 13 and x is 12 by 13, right? So that 13 and 13 are going to cancel. You're simply going to get tan inverse 5 by 12. Okay. Now tan inverse 5 by 12 from your calculators, you can find it out to be 67.38 degrees, right? So hence polar representation will be of the given complex number Z is equal to R. R is 1 cos 67.38 degree plus I sine 67.38 degree. 38 degree. And that is your required polar representation. Okay, you can convert it to minutes also, no problem. Fine. So let's proceed to the third one. If you have no questions. Number 3 is very easy. From polar representation, you can write the usual representation very easily. Let Z is equal to 4 cos 300 degree plus I sine 300 degree. You need to write this in the usual representation is equal to 4 cos 300 degree. If you try to write it in multiple of 360 degree, so what you do here is write this as 4 into 360 degree, 4 into 90 degree as an even multiple, because you want to calculate this angle. 4 into 90 degree minus 60 degree plus I sine, same, you can write 4 into 90 degree minus 60 degree. So this becomes 4. Cos is positive. This angle is in the fourth quadrant, and because this is an even multiple, cos remains cos. And this angle is in the fourth quadrant where cos is positive. So this simply becomes cos 60 degree. And here, if you see, you have an even multiple, so sine will remain sine. And because this angle is in the fourth quadrant where sine is negative, this positive sign will change to a negative sign. We'll have a negative sign before sine. This is sine 60 degree. Okay. So this is, now you can put the values. Cos 60 is half, and sine 60 is root 3 by 2. There's an I here, an I here. Okay. So this becomes 4 times 1 minus I root 3 divided by 2, which is equal to, now you can cancel this, becomes twice 1 minus I root 3, which becomes 2 minus 2I root 3, or 2 root 3I. Okay. So this is the usual representation of the complex number. Fine. So this was easy. Conversion of polar form to usual form, a general form. Okay. We proceed to the next part, and the next part is actually something that will give you an introduction to the next part, which is the cube roots of unity. Okay. So next part you should do a little carefully, because this will form the basis of your understanding for the next part. Okay. Let's do this. Given the complex number Z is equal to minus 1 plus I root 3 divided by 2. This is given. Okay. And also here, W is a complex number. In fact, W we don't write, we pronounce it as omega. Okay, we write W, it is written actually in this manner. This is called omega. Okay. Minus 1 minus root 3I divided by 2, where I is equal to square root minus 1. That goes without saying. Okay. First part. Prove that each of these complex numbers is the square of the other. That means you need to prove that if you square Z, you're going to get omega. And if you square omega, you're going to get Z. Now that is something that is very easy. So let's start it. We have Z is equal to minus 1 plus I root 3 divided by 2. That means z square is equal to the square of this, which is equal to minus 1 plus I root 3 square by 4. Now you expand it in the numerator. You are going to get, if you expand by a minus b whole square, this is your a square plus b square minus twice a into b divided by 4, which is equal to 3i square plus 1 minus 2 root 3i divided by 4. Now you put I square is equal to minus 1. So you get minus 3 plus 1 minus 2 root 3i divided by 4. So that now you get minus 2 minus 2 root 3i divided by 4. You can take the factor 2 out in the numerator. So you'll get twice 1 minus I root 3 divided by 4. So now this will cancel here. So that now you get minus 1 minus I root 3 divided by 2, which is equal to omega. So you see that when we have squared z square, when you square z, we are getting omega. Okay. Similarly, you can proceed with omega also. Similarly, it can be shown. You can do it on your own. You can check on your own. Similarly, omega square is equal to z. Okay. Now, this shows that each uh, of z and omega are squares of each other. Now, this is a very important property actually of cube roots of unity. Okay. In fact, why we did this is because if you want to, if you have the equation x cube is equal to 1, suppose, then you have to find x is equal to cube root of 1, isn't it? How many roots will this equation have? You will normally, till now what you have done is you have only said that x is equal to 1 is only one root. What about the other roots? The other roots of this equation are actually complex, because you can write this as x cube minus 1 is equal to 0, and then you can factorize this, and then you can find out this is called the cube root of unity. Okay. So therefore you can find the roots as minus 1 plus or minus I root 3 by 2. These are the other two roots. One root is 1, and the other two roots are minus 1 plus I root 3 and minus 1 minus I root 3. Okay. This is actually what we call omega. Minus 1 plus I root 3 by 2. This is one cube root of unity. And the other cube root of unity we take as omega square. Minus 1 minus I root 3 by 2. Because both of these are the square of the other. You can start from one and you can get the other if you square. Okay, so that in that context, this is important. We'll come to these properties a little after this. Okay, let's finish the other parts of this very quickly. Number 2, calculate the modulus and argument of omega and z. So here, z is equal to minus 1 plus root 3i by 2. You can write this as minus half plus I root 3 by 2. And omega here is minus 1 minus root 3i by 2. So you get minus half plus of minus root 3 by 2 I. Okay, so therefore what is mod z? We simply square, take the take the square root of the sum of the squares. Minus half square plus root 3 by 2 square. Okay, so okay, calculate the modulus of, okay, this is the second part. So this is square root of 1/4 plus 3 by 4, which if you take the LCM, you'll get square root of 1, which is equal to 1. And what should be the modulus of omega? You'll also get it as 1 minus half square plus minus root 3 by 2 square, which also comes to 1. Okay, so that is the modulus of omega and z. Now, what should be the argument? Argument of, if you see here, we have already found out the argument of this, right? You can locate this point on the Argand plane. If you try to locate, if you try to write this as an ordered pair, let's write it as an ordered pair, minus half root 3 by 2. And you write this as minus half minus root 3 by 2. Consider z first. Locate minus half and root 3 by 2. Minus half and root 3 by 2, say somewhere it will be here. So z is equal to minus half root 3 by 2. So now you join this, right? So in order to find this, you have to find, if you complete this right angle triangle here, this angle will be your phi, right? So that this part becomes your half, this part becomes your root 3 by 2. Okay, and therefore tan phi is equal to root 3 by 2 by half, without ignoring the sign. Okay, because we only finding out the magnitude of the angle, which is equal to root 3. That means you get tan phi is equal to tan pi by 3, pi by 6, I think. Yes, pi by 6. That means you get phi is equal to pi by 6. Therefore, because we have drawn now this, because within the first and second quadrant, this will be our argument. Therefore, what should be the argument? Argument of z is equal to pi minus phi, right? So this is pi minus pi by 6, which is equal to 5 pi by 6. This is the argument of this complex number. Let us now consider omega. Again, in the Argand plane, you try to locate the point here, minus half minus 3 by 2. So this clearly will be, say, somewhere over here. Omega is equal to minus half minus root 3 by 2. And you join this. Okay. And from here, you drop a perpendicular. So if I call this angle as phi, therefore tan phi, let's call this as some other symbol. Let us call this as psi. Because phi we have used above. Tan psi is equal to, if you see, this part is half and this is root 3 by 2. Okay. So therefore tan psi will be equal to perpendicular by base root 3 by 2 by half, only the magnitude, ignore the signs, which is equal to root 3. That means tan psi you are getting as tan pi by 6. That means psi is pi by 6. However, what you must note here is that the argument is, because it's in the third and fourth quadrant, the argument will be here. This is your argument of omega. Therefore, argument of omega is equal to minus pi plus pi by, let's write it as psi first, minus pi plus psi is equal to minus pi plus pi by 6. So you're going to find this as minus 5 pi by 6. So argument in the first case you're getting as 5 pi by 6. The argument in the second case you're getting as minus 5 pi by 6. Clear? Any question?
No, sir.
I guess I should finish the third one also. We have around 3 minutes left. Representation of z and omega you can do, I have already done. You can do it, the fourth part you can do on your own. Let's finish the third part very quickly. Number 3. You want to find out the modulus and argument of omega by z. Omega by z, if you put the values, you're going to get minus 1 minus I root 3 by 2. And you're going to get this as minus 1 plus I root 3 by 2. Okay, this is minus 1 minus I root 3. and this is -1 plus I root 3. Okay, so therefore what should be the modulus of omega by z? Is equal to modulus of -1 minus I root 3 divided by modulus of -1 plus I root 3, which you can find as root over of -1 square plus -3 square divided by root over of -1 square plus root 3 square, which is equal to root 4 by root 4, which is equal to 1. So modulus is 1. Also, now you try to write omega by z in a plus ib form. So omega by z is clearly -1 minus I root 3 divided by -1 plus I root 3. From here I have picked up. Okay. And if you do your usual multiplication, that is rationalization of, not rationalization, in fact, uh, realization of the denominator. Uh, if you multiply, you can take my 1 common and you get I root 3 plus 1 divided by, and here in the denominator, you're going to get -1 plus I root 3 as it is. Now, if you multiply the numerator and denominator by root I root 3 plus 1, I root 3 plus 1 into I root 3 minus 1. Okay, now if you simplify this, you are going to get 1/4 plus I root 3 by 4. I'm not showing you a simplification because I've done it many times. Okay, now you want to find out the argument of this complex number. If you see x and y both are positive, so directly you can find out the argument. Therefore, argument of omega by z is equal to tan inverse root 3 by 4 divided by 1 by 4, which is equal to tan inverse root 3. And tan inverse root 3 we all know is pi by 6, pi by 3 in fact, pi by 3. That's it. Okay. So I'll stop here then.